First of all, I just want to remind you in a similar way that like entrepreneurship versus having a corporate job, it's like pick your poison. It's similar like that with open relationships, right? Like there's challenges either way. The question is which ones work better for you? Which ones are you more willing to engage with? So in both cases for entrepreneurship and navigating open relationships, it's a choice that you are going to need to keep on choosing over and over, right? Just like entrepreneurship was or has been. It also is kind of about a lifestyle choice, right? Like it's not like as entrepreneurs, we're not working. It's that we have more freedom and flexibility if we structure it that way to determine when. So you can choose to have more freedom in your life on an ongoing basis. And it's for that lifestyle that I choose it. I want, similarly to like, I want to be able to determine how I spend my time. I also want to be able to determine who I engage with and how and why. And I'm based on what I want and what feels right to me and to the other person, obviously. Another way that they're similar is that your experience as an entrepreneur or in a poly relationship is directly correlated to how you value yourself and how you show up, right? Like if you're willing to get by, never making a profit in business, but just barely getting by, then that's what your experience is going to be. And if you're someone who's not willing to settle for that and is bound and determined to create a highly profitable business, then you're eventually going to get there, right? Or you already are. So similarly, if you're willing to put up with a lot of drama, which I was for the first couple of years, like a lot of chaos, a lot of stress, a lot of then that's what your experience is going to be. But if you don't have a lot of tolerance for that and you decide that you're not going to engage in those ways, then you find better ways to engage. But you have to like value yourself enough to believe and work towards a better situation. And this kind of goes on the same thing. It's like with entrepreneurship, you have the like fantasizers, right? Who are keep working and they imagine what entrepreneurship is like, but they haven't really lived it. Or you have the strugglers, or you have the like doers who are kicking ass and doing it, right? Similarly, with poly, you've got the like fantasizers who like the idea in theory, but haven't done the work or aren't willing to do the work or take the risks in order to live that lifestyle. You have the strugglers who are like in it, but are so deeply in their codependence that they don't find a way to engage with that leads to more freedom and happiness for everybody involved, but particularly for the person making the decision about their own life. The number one mistake that most people make when they're starting to engage in poly relationships, which is something monogamous people tend to do their whole fucking life, is to fall into the trap of expecting your partner or asking your partner, you're jealous, right? To do something different so that you don't feel jealous. So, but this is sort of like my first thing out of college, right? When I published a conscious parenting magazine and I went from 0 to 30,000 copies in 6 months. And I borrowed $250,000 from my dad to finance this magazine. But I hadn't figured out how to generate revenue in the business successfully, right? It's teach someone to fish versus giving them a fish, right? So if you are allowing your partner or asking or encouraging or expecting your partner to change what they're doing so that you don't feel jealous, you're just asking them to give you a fish. You're not learning to fish for yourself, right? Fish being the sense of peace, trust, ease, confidence. So it's whether it's to justify it, right? Whether it's like just a small thing that you're asking them to do, you can justify it by saying, oh, it's just a small thing. Or if it's a really situation and you want to do that, then asking them to do it because it's so big and important, and that's how you're justifying it. Either way, you're not catching your own fucking fish. And if you're not catching your fish and you're asking them to do it, it's not a sustainable solution. Eventually, you will run into something that either they don't want or in order to make you feel better, and you both will feel so much worse by that point than if you had learned fish early on. And I know this is not a lot of my experiences and perceptions and perspectives on poly can be pretty controversial to people. I even believe in that making agreements in polyamory is helpful. And that is something that lots of people will probably argue all day about. But I believe in making requests. My policy is ask once, remind twice. And if they can't or don't want to do it, then you set a boundary, which means you're taking an action. You are taking an action to take care of yourself instead of expecting them to take care of you. So I believe in making requests and then taking care of yourself if they don't do it. But to make an agreement. The goal for me is to be in relationships with people whose genuine wants and desires align significantly with my needs, and also to maintain my autonomy, my independence, my self-connection, my solid footing, so that if and when, it's really when, so that when we encounter a situation where what they want to do does not work for me, that I can be okay and know that I am able to take care of myself. So I want you to ask yourself, how do you recognize it? What does it feel like to you? So for me, it's usually this like, bleh. So I don't know if that's similar for you or not, but what's helpful for me is that then when a situation comes up and I'm like, oh, that's jealousy. And it's like, oh, that's familiar, right? It's not like it's, oh, that's that feeling that I get sometimes in these situations that helps let me know that I'm on more easily. Number two, what feels supportive to me now? Some things to work out. Be specific about how you recognize it, both so that you can like name it and acknowledge it right now as you're feeling it, but also so that in the future you can recognize it more quickly. And what could I say or do right now, both in this moment, like maybe you just want to go take a bath, or for the future? Like, are there requests that you want to make of your partner in the future? Like, hey, could we have an hour of alone naked time before you go out on a date? Or like whatever it is that you might want, like make the request. And maybe they want to do it. Maybe you come to something else that works better for both of you, and maybe they don't want to do it. It's not a request if you're not willing to hear a no. This is kind of a nonviolent communication basic, but it's a demand. If we're not willing to honor and hear someone else's no, then it's a demand. But it doesn't mean that it's easy to honor that. And sometimes it catches us off guard. Like sometimes speaking from experience, I think I'm making a request that I think the person is easily going to say yes to, and then they don't. And then it feels very demandy until I realize like, okay, they don't want, so now what do I want to do? Take care of myself. So I think that's pretty much all I've got to tell you on the topic of navigating jealousy for entrepreneurs who are practicing ethical non-monogamy, polyamory. So I hope that was helpful. I'm very curious to hear kind of where you are in your journey, what situation you're having a hard time with right now. If you go through these and go through this process, I would love to hear what insights you get out of it, what clarity or what healing.